Hello, readers and writers of the internet. Welcome back. So this is actually a review. I think the last review that I did was in October. It was my review of Panic. And I'm like, let's just do a review. You know, I enjoy filming them. You guys seem to enjoy watching them, so I'm like, let's do it. And the main struggle that I had with this one is that I didn't know which book I was gonna do. It was between Wicked Saints and Magonia. I decided to do Wicked Saints. So this one, it isn't tabbed. It isn't tabbed like some of my other reviews or anything like that. So this one isn't really going to be as linear. You know, I'm not going to take you through the entire story. I'm just going to run through the main points, you know, things that I liked, things that I disliked, you know, stuff like that. It's going to be like a Moz Podge. It's going to be fine. Now, I should mention that it has been a while, a very long time, since I've read this book. So I might get a few facts wrong here and there. If I do, feel free to correct me down below. But let's get into it. So first off, this book really disappointed me. It really did. I've already kind of stated this once in like a wrap up or whatnot, but this book really just like let me down. I had read that the beginning of the book was so good, and then it just like went downhill, and I'm like, no. There's no way that would happen. And I saw like another booktuber, I can't remember her name. It was just a random like recommended video, so I do apologize that I can't, you know, recommend her or anything to you guys. But she read everyone's like most disappointed books of the year, and this was on one of it, and I think that she actually really liked this one. I'm like, gotta read it. So I bought it because I read like through the first few pages and I really liked it. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. So this one, I don't really think I hate as much as maybe I'm portraying, but I think it honestly just let me down so much that is kind of filtered into and like turned into hate. Essentially, I like the ideas in this book. I really do. It's really like interesting. Like you have a girl who can talk to the gods, a prince deciding who he can trust, a boy with like a monstrous secret, and they all have to team up together. I'm just like, yes. And this book started out so good. It honestly did. So the main character, her name is Nadezhda. I'm not pronouncing her last name. That was her first name. But Nadezhda, she can talk to all the gods, and she does this by a big, bulky, wooden necklace. I found that kind of weird, but at the same time kind of unique for a magic system to have it like in jewelry. But like she would just like fiddle around with it and just find the god that she wanted. Like she would just rotate it, like, oh, I found you. And then they would talk. That was that. So, involving the gods, I never really got a sense that they were powerful in any like sense of the word or anything like that. Like, because they give her powers, and yet almost every single turn, she's defeated. I'm just like, these gods obviously can't be that powerful if they're like helping her, giving her powers, and she's just being defeated. And I don't think it was like user error or anything like that. I think it was just the powers, because she would get outpowered consistently. Really consistently. I'm just like, dear, my goodness. What is happening? You know, it just kind of confused me, and I never really got the sense that like the gods weren't powerful. I mean, they were trapped on a necklace on her neck, for goodness sake. How does that happen? And then she meets a boy who I'm also not going to be able to pronounce either. Malachi's? I think it's Malachi's. And so he's the boy that has a monstrous secret. And so they start a little, like, love-hate relationship. going on there. You guys know me. I love to hate or hate to love relationships. I love them. I'm a sucker for them. Like, it's just, it's one of those things where I'm just like, yes, give me more, please. Please. This book, it didn't really work out. It wasn't slow. Like, I like a slow burn when I have hate to love relationships. It's like, oh, I hate you. I kind of don't hate you. I kind of understand. I'm going to tolerate you. Okay. I like you. I love you. It's like a gradual process there. It's a gradual understanding. You get to watch the relationship build. You get to watch them, evolve as characters, as well as the plot. It's a beautiful, 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 beautiful thing. Here, within like a day or two of meeting him, I think, she kisses him, or they kiss, and then you go back to hate. Because it's against her religion. Now, I've fantasy books, especially YA fantasy books that are kind of rooted in religion, are really either hit or miss for me. I either really like them, I'm like, wow, this is, very clever, blah, blah, I see what you did there, I get it. Like, I know this isn't a YA fantasy, but like with The Devil All the Time by Ray Pollock, that one is mainly rooted in religion, specifically Christianity. And like everyone in it is just a pig. Like they're the most vile human beings that you can ever like conceive. And yet I love that book. There's a way to do it. And then, with some authors, it sounds like commentary. I'm like, I don't really need this. I get that you have a view about religion, but don't write your personal opinion into a book. This one, though, unless I'm just remembering it incorrectly, I didn't really get either of those. Like, the religion was literally just like sprinkled in there to add like conflict. Like, it wasn't as prominent as it should have been, especially since the main character is like the speaker for the gods and like was raised in a temple, has been like training on how to stop like a dark force, I think, or something like that, and everyone's supposed to protect her. I'm like, shouldn't there be a bit more religion? Like, the most we get about the gods and the religion is that when her and Malachi's kiss, it's gone against her faith and her religion, and that's why she hates it. And that's why she begins to dislike him again, because she messed up and she kissed him. And she's like, no, I can't, it's wrong. And again, this would have been, I feel like, not as big of an issue if, we would have had that religion and then we did like the slow breakdown of it. So then with the slow gradual breakdown of the religion with her, you get the slow gradual buildup of their relationship and how the two, compare and contrast. But instead, we just get, I love him, I hate him, I love him, I hate him, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong, this is right. And it almost gave me whiplash. Like, I felt like I was reading the same thing over and over and over again. And I'm not trying to be mean here when I say this to either author. I'm talking about Emily A. Duncan and Stephanie Garber. You guys know me. I love Stephanie Garber. I love Caraval. I love the series. But especially with Finale, I felt like I was reading the same scene over and over and over and over and again. They just had the same conversation, the same conflicts. I'm like, oh my goodness, please, no. And this is kind of what happened here. At least that's what I remember, and that's how I remember it. So there's this boy that I actually thought was going to be my favorite character. His name is Seraphim, and he's the prince. And at the beginning, he starts out super powerful. Like, he invades the temple, he burns it to the ground, he kills everyone, and then he lets her go. Like he never captured her, but he's like, I can track her. Let's just relax. I'm gonna go get drunk. And I'm like, dude, your father is gonna be extremely mad. Like it's made very clear from the very beginning that like his father's not someone to be trifled with, that like this girl needs to be killed. And he's like, it'll be fine. And then she breaks the tracking spell that he put on her. I'm just like, well, that was just a beautiful move, wasn't it? Oh, also, this just like popped into my mind. Nad, I'm just gonna call her Nad from now on. She has a best friend who escapes with her from the temple. I am honestly too lazy to try and find. I just found it. Anna. It's the most simplistic name in the book. Anna. So Anna, her best friend, escapes with her. This character is completely insignificant, and I'll talk more about her when we get to the end of the book, but it's one of those, like, I have to guard you. I have to protect you. I failed once already. I'm just like, please. No, like that, like I didn't feel for the character. I didn't care about the character. It was just one of those, like, I don't want you talking to that boy. I'm like, why? So the prince, anyway, going back to it, the prince I thought was going to be my favorite character. You know, dominating force, love it. And then, as like the book goes on, like the same thing happens with Nad. Their characters just cease to exist. Like their characters at the beginning of the book just stop existing. Like again, I said he was really powerful. Like I forget what they're called. I think they're blood mages. Something like that. Like they have to like spill blood and then they breed a book and then they can do like an incantation or whatnot. He's one of the most powerful, right? And like as the book goes on, you just continue to fail to see it. I'm just like, what happens to these characters? Like, how do they start off so powerful and such a threat, and then they just get, like, reduced? I'm just like, I don't understand. I do not understand. So, eventually, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm not completely sure how it happened. Wait. I'm getting a flashback. I'm getting a memory from the book. Okay. So, Mal, I'm gonna call him Mal. Ooh, Shadow and Bone. But Mal, he is attacked by, like, these supposed creepy dudes, whatnot. It's weird, though, because the masks that they described are really weird. They're, like, they're leather masks, right? And then they have, like, a zipper on the side or like a spike, you know, or they're just like, you know, metal. I'm just like, what is happening? Like maybe I just like couldn't picture the right thing or picture what the author was trying to get at, but I just found that to be funny. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so they get attacked, right? And Mal shows off his power and like, I think it kills them all, right? Rather viciously. He just kills them all, right? And she's, of course, like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared of you. Oh my goodness, but I love you. And then I think they, like, make out again or something like that. I think she gets hurt. You know, she didn't do anything to help in the fight, obviously. But yeah, so that happens. And then I think they decide to sneak their way into the kingdom to try and stop. I forget, I think it might be a prophecy. I'm so sorry, guys. I forgot how much happens, like how many, like, small details just happen and get you to point A to point B. I do apologize about this. I thought I remembered more. Evidently I don't. But yeah, so, you know, they go to the castle and Mal puts, like, a face spell on her so she doesn't look like herself. I'm like, okay. And then the prince arrives. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so good. They're together. This is gonna be great. And honestly, I'm gonna have to give the author credit here. I was expecting a full-on love triangle. I did not get a love triangle. At least I don't remember getting a love triangle. If I did, it was so insignificant. And so, like, I don't care that it obviously didn't stick with me. And you guys know me. Love triangles are gonna stick. This one didn't. But yeah, so there was no love triangle. But anyway, so they're meeting at the palace. And then, like, this is nothing against the author, but, you know, Naz keeps on saying, oh, look at the prince, he's so awkward. I had no idea. Look, he's so awkward, he's so shy, he's so timid, he's so, you know, awkward. And every single interaction that I got with the prince and, like, everyone else, I never got the sense that he was awkward. Maybe, like, uncaring or, like, he didn't want to be there. He was like, yeah, sure, whatever. But I never got the sense that he was awkward, that he went from, like, this battle-ready captain, right, that has destroyed villages in his quest to get to her, to, like, this awkward thing. And that would have been an amazing contrast if I saw that it was pulled off correctly. And me personally, I did not think it was pulled off correctly. Like I said, I never got the sense that this prince was awkward. I never got the sense that, you know, maybe he had, I think it might have been mentioned like once or twice that he might have had like PTSD from fighting, or like that was all they knew. I never really got that sense. Like, it would have been not funny, but I could have seen like a few scenes where like maybe he isn't sleeping, or like you know, like a servant like, you know, tries to dress him, he's like freaked out, he's like, whoa, no, 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 you know, like stuff like that would have helped really well, because like we get chapters of his POV, so this isn't just a linear story. Like we have, I'm gonna call him Sir. We have Sir and we have Naz, right? So we have both these characters' perspectives. So I don't understand why there wasn't more like in depth or anything like that. Or I would have loved a talk maybe between, you know, because he doesn't know that she's, you know, her. But maybe a talk between them where like she's like trying to like get him to like feel guilt and be like, do you know how many people you've killed, you know, blah blah blah. And he's like, no, I think about that all the time though. I can't sleep, you know, I was just doing it to make my father proud. I didn't think anything of it. Maybe a talk like that. From what I remember, we don't get a talk like that, and I love talks like that. I love those deep talks of just, I'm a terrible person, but I've accepted it. There's nothing to be done. Just let me be. I love those talks in books. I honestly do. So yeah, so nothing honestly really happens from the time that they get to the palace, then to like the climax. Honestly, nothing. There's like a small fight between Nal and another girl because the other girl like didn't like the way that she looked or something like that. And then there was a dinner. And then the king like slapped his son, but that was about it. And then you get like this, by the way, we're now getting into like spoiler territory, so if you don't want this book to be spoiled or anything, it was nice seeing you. If you don't care, if you already read it, or you just want my thoughts and opinions, hello. So we start to get this prophecy, or like this the build up to the climax, the rising action. We start to see it. And it's essentially like the king is trying to become the most powerful, I think they're called sorcerers or like mages or something, like the most powerful sorcerer in the land or whatnot. We've kind of heard this before, honestly. If I had just read this book, I would not be able to go into detail because it confused me as I read it. There was like this fortune teller type woman that like they meet, and she's like, you know, she speaks in like rhymes and poems. She's like, it will happen, blah 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 blah. They're like, what does that mean? And she's like, I don't know. So yeah, we get that character. I'm like, what the heck? And like, this is another little side rant. I'm so sorry for all the side rants, but just like reviewing this book has like brought back how much it disappointed me. But the fortune teller or the future thing is not my favorite thing to read in a book. I like it just a bit more where the characters work it out themselves, you know? Now it can be done really well. This isn't a fortune teller, but it's kind of an example. It's in Six of Crows. Kaz, he has this elaborate idea, and he only tells the people their part. He's like, this is all that you need to know. This is all that you need to know. You don't need to know the full plan. Only I know the full plan, and only I know it partly. You know, like he's making some stuff up as he goes along, but point being, he has a full plan, working parts, all like that. So as a reader, as you're reading it, you have no idea what is happening. The characters, besides Kaz, but sometimes Kaz, has no idea what is happening, you know? But as you begin to read, the pieces begin to slide together and you begin to see, oh my gosh, this was his plan. I understand how all these pieces correlate. The characters begin to see that and they're like, we can think ahead of you now. We know your next move. We understand. Leave us alone. That kind of stuff. Like that's exciting to read when everything just falls into place. And even though a character like knew something, like already, they can think fast enough on their feet to make up an entirely new plan. Or, you know, even if they know something, the reader doesn't know everything, or like, I don't even know if I'm describing this well for you guys. If I'm not, I apologize, but that's just like, you know, what kind of I just thought of just then. It's terrible. I know. I'm sorry. I just got out of like Spanish class. My brain is just gone. So yeah, there are certain instances where the fortune thing works. In this book, it didn't really work because they would find out that bit of information as it was happening. Like something would happen and they would be like, oh, I understand now. I'm like, you're supposed to understand to prevent, and it's already happening. What does it matter if you understand as it's happening? Like, you can't stop it now. It's a moving train at this point. The king, he becomes the most powerful person, sorcerer, whatever, in the world. And Sir Mal and Naz and Anna, dear sweet Anna, they make a plan to stop him. And I think by this point, Sir knows that Naz is Naz and not this other girl. And yeah, that really wasn't like, I don't remember it being that big of a deal. He's like, oh, you lied. Oh well. And that was that, you know, it wasn't like anything like that. But at the same time, liars revealed has never been my favorite trope or anything like that. So I guess it's okay. Yeah, but at the same time, I really don't know how else she would have gotten into the palace looking like herself. So I guess it just had to happen. It was just almost underwhelming. The reveal was a bit underwhelming. I would have liked it if he would have figured it out himself, but you know, it's okay. So like throughout this book, we've been getting hints that Sir is really, 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 really powerful. And this is displayed by like, I think he dreams like a moth and like a light are above his head. He's like, oh, that's power. I'm just like, it's a moth. It's a moth. Like, I'm just like, oh my goodness, no. But so yeah, they make this plan. They go in there, and Anna, she like goes like around the castle. I think she's like, I'm gonna go like, you know, try to like blindside him. I'll take care of the guards or something. And just like, by the way, we never see Anna again. Like, we don't know if she's dead. We don't know if she's okay. We don't even know what happened. Like, it's never mentioned again. It honestly just feels like it was forgotten about. Like, I remember reading it and just being like, wait, where's Anna? What is Anna doing? Should Anna be here? Bring in the cavalry. Oh my goodness, Anna. I didn't care about Anna though. But yeah, so they fight him. And he ends up like killing Sir and like really, 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 really badly injuring Naz. I'm just like, you guys are not powerful. Like this leads back to the beginning. I'm like, how are they so powerful in the beginning and now they're just defeated? I get it, he's powerful, but I don't think they make like a dent on this dude. I'm just like, how? So Sir, I think, is killed, right? Actually, I just remembered, this is so bad. This is probably one of my worst reviews ever. I didn't think I was going to review it, so I didn't tab this book. So this is why I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. But Mal, I think, is killed before this attack. And I think Naz and Anna and Mal, they make a plan, and Sir is already dead. That's right, because the king had to get the power, and he got the power from his son. Oh, he got the power from his son. This is still, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, you guys. I promise you the review on Magonia is going to be better. I have tabs. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I briefly went through this and skimmed. I thought it was okay to do this. This is just terrible, but it's fine. It's fine. But anyway, yeah, so Sir is killed before the battle. And so yeah, his father takes his powers, and then in the middle of the battle, when I think even Mal is injured at this point, and Mal has been shown to be a really strong magician, but he's also the hidden, what do they call it, the Crow King or something like that? It's something like that. I think they wear a crow mask. I'm not entirely sure. It's not, I don't know. Anyway, he used to be a king, a young boy, right? And then I think he just ran away, and that's why those people attacked him. I'm well, that explains some. I like Mal just a bit, because I'm he's the most morally gray character in this thing, besides Sir. And I was I like this. I like him. I like this character. Sir rejoins them, and he has moths flying over his head and this beacon of light, right? And that's supposed to be the most powerful thing ever. I'm that's a moth. It's a moth. And then I think even with this power, he's defeated in 10 seconds. This is the climax that I needed. This is the climax that I wanted. I think Mal actually ends up killing the king, or the king kills himself because he has just so much power. I think he might just implode or something like that. Yeah, it was kind of underwhelming. So actually, I just read the last few pages of this book, and now I'm even more confused. So Mal isn't present in the last part of this book, the last few chapters. I'm not entirely sure what happens to him. If we're being honest, I know that he took power. I know that he did that. But I don't know where he went. Okay, so he seems... Okay, wait. It looks like Mal chooses not to side with them. I'm not sure where he goes, though. I'm not sure. This is just confusing me just a bit more. Oh, okay, I understand now. So Mal leaves during the fight, or before the fight. And by the way, it's vultures, not crows. Excuse me. I got my black birds confused there for a second. And so, yes. Sir ends up taking the throne. And again, it's mentioned that he's scared, but it doesn't really show that he's scared. She's just I could see it in his eyes. I'm just what does that mean? What does that mean? You need to tell me. So yeah, Sir takes the throne, and then that's it. That's the book. That's the book. And honestly, you guys, I'm not trying to make this review confusing or anything. I'm not trying to be mean to the author when I say this, but I was very confused reading this book. And I'm not trying to blame anything. I'm just saying why I think it got so disheveled there at some parts is because I was confused while reading them, and there wasn't a big enough of an impact for me to remember them exactly. So if that shows you anything, my goodness, there was a character that left in the middle of a fight scene or before the fight scene that I thought had stayed. I don't remember Sir getting the throne. I don't remember any of this. I don't remember how the main antagonist of this book dies. The things that are so important are so downplayed in this book, and then it focuses on like minute details and like scenarios that I don't need, you know? It just confuses me when I read that. The part with the riddle confused me because they would be like, I understand now. I'm like, I don't. What exactly are we looking at here? Like, some of the descriptions were, like, the writing was nice, but sometimes the descriptions were a bit too metaphorical or flowery or something like that, where like, I couldn't understand what was happening or anything like that. So yeah, again, I'm not trying to like use that as excuse. I'm not trying to be mean to the author. It's partly my fault for waiting so long to review this, and then I should have spark noted it. But I thought I remembered enough, you know, I'd gone through it. I'm like, yeah, this is good. You know, I'd gone through Goodreads. I'm like, yeah, this is good. And then there were just certain parts that, like, I guess I didn't realize had never stuck with me. So that's why that happened. And I do apologize for this being kind of a confusing review, but I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun reviewing it and like discovering things like all over again. I feel like I'm like an infant that's like discovering like keys again and again and again. So yeah, I do apologize, but that being said, I hope that you guys do enjoy this. I'm not sure when I'm gonna review my Magonia. I'm not entirely sure. I have a few other videos that I have like to go up before then, so those will probably go up, and then it'll probably be the summer. I don't know, but that one's gonna be tabbed. It's gonna be a bit more well put together, and I do apologize for this book, or this review, but I do hope that you guys liked it. Thank you as always for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on all my other social media, such as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Those will be listed down in the description below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!